Wednesday. Glad to see everybody. Hope we've got a couple of folks tuning in. I didn't get everything done in time to do reminders or anything, so I'm still doing the Facebook Lives on Wednesday at 7:15. And I will go ahead and sneak over to my iPad and see if I can get going there so that I can see your comments. Let's see, live video here. Got comments. Let's see here if I'm up yet. Not yet on my iPad. See if anybody's tuning in. This is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, 7:15. It's kind of been a habit for some of us. Here we go. Now I'm getting it on my iPad too. See if anybody's tuning in. All right. I think I can see it if anybody joins in. Would love for you to give me a comment if you've tuned in. I am Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator since 2005, I think. Wow. Can that be right? No. Oh my goodness, I just went blank. I've been doing it for, no, yeah, let's see. That's right, over 15 years. So I guess that would be right. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's see if I've got, whoop, my computer just decided not to be showing me anything. I'm not showing I see anybody yet. There we go. We have one viewer. Glad to have you. I'd love for you to let me know in the comments who you are and where you're watching from. That would be awesome. I'm Kelley Pitts and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Hi, Susan. Glad you're watching. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be doing a fun fold with the Beauty of the Earth DSP. I thought we would do one more fall card because we'll probably be doing Christmas cards for the next 7 weeks or so. I'm assuming Christmas cards or Christmas projects. So I thought we'd do one more fall one today. I hope that's all right with you. Hope y'all have had a great week so far. I've been trying to get some things checked off of my list. So working, just getting lots of things done. Hi, Eileen. Glad you've tuned in also. I'm trying to get some, oh good, Susan. I love fall, and I think sometimes we don't give it its due because everybody gets so excited about Christmas that we start with fall right away. But I'm trying to make sure that we give fall its due. So I don't have the sample card ready, of course. And I just realized I don't have my Stampin' Seal in here either. I couldn't find it earlier. Let's see. I'm going to get my iPad going and we will get started. And everybody else can just catch up as they come in. Let's see. I've got them on my... Oh, me too, Eileen. I love the fall. I love it, love it. We have... I must admit, October has been really nice. It has been gorgeous not to get this cold as it usually is already in October, but it's good. I think it's a good temperature nowadays. So we will. I was going to give some folks another minute or two, but we may go ahead and get started. Let's see, it shows we've got 3 people watching. I don't know who's here besides Susan and Eileen. Would love to have y'all say hello if you're popping in. Oh, they popped back off. Scared them, I guess. All right. Well, guess I'll go ahead and turn the camera down and we will get started on tonight's card. And I will... I guess I'm debating. I've got some other cards to show you. So I guess it'll be easier to do that with the camera turned down. So we'll go ahead and do this card and then I'll show you some others that I have done. Dion and Tanya and I all got together this weekend. We all purchased a retreat kit from Amy Story and we worked on that all Saturday. And I mean, oh my goodness, we we did like, I think, almost 19 projects, maybe 17, 19, something like that, cards and projects. So I'm going to show you the cards that we made, and we kind of altered some of them, and because we didn't have all the stamp sets that Amy has, I think she bought everything in the new catalog and the Holiday Mini, which would be great to have all those, but we had most of them that we needed, but we improvised on some. So tonight I'm just going to show you a fun fold that I've done before, and I've never made this card before with the Beauty of the Earth DSP, so I'll get your input on it as we go. It'll be fun. All right, I'm turning the camera down, so be patient with me as I switcheroo. Alrighty, I'm still there. Are y'all still there? That's what's the most important thing. Give me a sec to get everything straight here. See which way to go. See if we've got enough room to work with there. And I still haven't made the decision if I'm going to keep the Facebook Live at this time or if I'm going to change it to earlier or what. I'm going to kind of write down everybody's opinion. Hi, Glenn. Glad you're watching. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, we will get started here. I am going to show you my inspiration card, and this is one that I had made previously when we had the art gallery stamp set. We still have that, but it was the Fine Art Gallery, I think, designer series paper, and it opens like this. And I loved it, and I was working on a card for one of my new team members. Finally getting to do that, and then I decided I couldn't use retired paper, so I changed it up a little bit. But that was the inspiration, and it stands up like that. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera or tell what that does. Makes a little V like that, and then you have the back that you can write a little message on, but they can stand it up on their desk. So there we go. All right, we are starting with a piece of, this is your typical 8.5 by 5.5, and I have it scored at, I think I know, but I'm going to check, 2 3 1/8. And then instead of doing the math over here, I just flipped it over and scored it over here at 2 3 1/8. And make sure you do it at 3 1/8 and not 3 1/4. It's easy to make that mistake. I have made it before, that's for sure. So we are working with the Knight of Navy, and this is, whoops, see if we can get this pile under control here. This is, I tried several different colors that were in the designer series paper, and I'm going to kind of show you a rough, and then we'll get started. I've got 2 pieces of paper here. Oh, don't want to blow it for you. I guess I'm going to go ahead. I guess I'm going to have to get your opinion and kind of show you where I went with it. Originally, well, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you. Sorry. So we can get going. But this is the way I think we're going to do, but y'all can tell me if you think otherwise would be better. But I'm thinking these 2 pieces should go here, and then I'm going to put kind of a conglomeration of die cuts on the front here and let y'all help me choose which ones we're going to do. And then we'll probably stamp a message at the top and put a little linen thread here. Originally, my idea was to put the printed in the middle and then put this on the sides. But it was just way too busy with all that, or any of that there. But I thought this was really a pretty use of this paper, and I had not used this paper. I've used a lot of the other designer series paper in this pack, but I haven't used this one. So and this is the reverse side, so y'all could do it either way if you wanted to cut this, if you wanted to make your own at home. And this is sized at 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Both of these are 1 1/4, and then this one is 2 inches. So 2 inches wide on this part, 1 1/4 on these, and they're all 5 1/4, so we'll have an even little border around. What do y'all think of this? If we don't go too crazy on these, I'm going to let y'all choose which colors we want to use, or kind of how we want to do that middle part. And I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap some linen thread around this. Now, if y'all had some of the copper, we've had some copper ribbon in the past that would be gorgeous with this. We also have Misty Moonlight, that is another retired ribbon. We also had a denim, which was also really pretty. So I think we're going to, if I put this, then we're committed to do it here. Well, we'll just figure it out, because I really want the linen thread back behind this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and tie it on, even though we haven't really decided exactly how we're going to embellish it or which die cut. So I'm going to be able to just tuck them in underneath here. But if we don't do it now, before we glue it, we're not going to be able to do it this way. So we're just going to wing it from here. I'm going to make that a little bit longer to make it easier on myself. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting out of camera view here. There we go. Tie us a little bow, and then we'll be able to add to that or do whatever we want, but at least we'll have it on there. And you could use seal. If I had my seal in this room, I would use it, but I don't, so we're going to use the liquid glue. Y'all can use whatever your favorite liquid glue is. Stampin' Up's got one called Tombow Multi-Purpose Glue that works well too. I've got this one right here, so we're gonna, I guess y'all agree on the busy and not busy part in the middle. So I just really couldn't make it happen. I was trying to figure out how I could do some of the die cuts down the side if I had the blue up like this on the sides. And I just worked and worked and worked at it, and then just decided I'm just going to flip that. I'm just going to put the leafy ones on the sides, so I don't need to do the die cuts there, and then just make the die cuts a focal point on the front piece. It's still not a solid. It is kind of an ombre look on that paper in the designer series paper set. And you can just look, there's not really a right way or wrong way to do this with the leaf pattern, but you might just, I don't know if you want to do both of them the same or both of them, you know, kind of, this one has the coppery leaves more going up this way, so it feels like that's the right way to do it, but it would totally depend on how your paper looks after you cut it, because each piece is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and glue the sides down. Hopefully y'all haven't done this fun fold a ton and you're tired of it and all that. I hadn't done it in a while, so, and I was really playing with a lot of different ways. I really wanted to do another pinwheel card with this paper, but I just couldn't find enough sides that I thought really went together well enough to make this work. So I am going to go ahead and do my stamping on this one. And you'll have to excuse my little mat. I had already stamped last time we stamped the pumpkins on here, so I've still got pumpkins going. But I thought this would be a beautiful thank you card. I'm using the color and contour set. We could use thank you. Could use you're absolutely amazing is what I was thinking on the back. But we could put this on the front. You're absolutely amazing with all of that foliage. Or we could put thank you for everything on the front and you're absolutely amazing on the back. Which one do y'all prefer? Hi, Andrea. Glad you've tuned in. What do y'all think on the top? You can kind of see that for spacing there. I was kind of thinking the thank you for everything on the front and then doing the you're absolutely amazing on the back. But I am open to suggestions. I can switch those around. I'll let you have a second on that. Color and contour. We have used this set quite a bit for greetings. And this is the one I chose for tonight. The thank you for everything. So happy for you. They've got several different little greetings in here that are great, or sentiments, whichever one you call them. Do y'all say sentiments or greetings? What's your preferred nomenclature? I guess that would be for that. I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to do the thank you for everything. I know y'all have to bear with me because I have quite a delay on Facebook. Yep, I think that's going to work. We could emboss it. We could do that in the Cajun Craze. I just don't know. I don't think it's going to be as pretty. I think we want to stick with the thank you for everything. I think this is going to make it stand out using the, oops, let me move this over so y'all can see the little stamp pad. Everybody who's watching, I think, has stamped a lot, but maybe we'll have somebody new tune in. And you just tap, tap, tap on your stamp pad, and then we're going to stamp straight down, straight up. Try not to wiggle. There we go. And I think I'm going to put some little Cajun Craze little spots, little sprinkles around that, and maybe even at the bottom. We're going to see how we like that. If we don't, I have another piece of this blue DSP somewhere. But I'm going to stamp off and hope we like it. There we go. I kind of like that. Stamp off. We're just going to kind of go around. And I'm turning my stamp as I go. I'm going to move this bow up because I know I can move it right back down there if I want to. Woo! Forgot to stamp off. Have y'all ever done that? It happens. Alrighty. That was Cajun Craze, one of the coordinating colors that's in the designer series paper. Let me clean this off really quickly. All right, get these out of the way. And we'll move our little linen thread back down. Okay. Now, hopefully that didn't make it too busy. I just wanted to kind of give it a little bit of interest there. Then we can decide kind of what we want on these. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it. And if you stamped on your designer series paper and it didn't come out exactly the way you want, you could always cut a little square or rectangle or anything out of white or the light, like a light blue, or you could use a blender brush or something. on a background and make you a little greeting. But it would be pretty in white. You could punch it with a punch. You could do whatever. But I'm going to leave it like it is. You don't always have to have a raised greeting. Usually we do, or usually I do. But since this worked, we don't have to cover up our mistake, which is kind of nice. Okay, we're going to try to center that and kind of have an even border all the way around. So it's going to fold and look like that. Then we're going to add our little texture part on the front. And I wanted to show you, this leaf is cut from the ombre paper that is in the annual catalog. Sometimes we forget the annual catalog when we get the mini holiday catalog out. But this one, this is what the paper looks like. It goes from kind of a light blue to a dark blue navy. And then in the same pack, you get a purple, yellow, and a red that are all part of this ombre set. And it's beautiful. It's in the catalog on page 135. It's called Ombre Specialty Paper, number 155784. It's only $10. You get one sheet of each color. So it's basically Gorgeous Grape, Mango Melody, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. But isn't that pretty? Then we're also using a copper paper that I'm not sure which pack this came out of. If this is this looks like the gold foil that we currently have in the catalog. But there's also a specialty metallic paper that's a mixed sheet that has silver and copper and gold and I don't know what all. But I have chosen to die cut these out of the Forever Flourishing dies. This was a carryover from last year's catalog, and I love this set. I just absolutely love it and haven't used it enough. So that's why I thought the leaves went beautifully with this. So we're kind of tying in. I went with the color palette that's on the Designer Series paper and chose some Cajun Craze. I think we need at least one big. I'm going to show you what all I cut out here. We've got several little die cuts that I thought I would just get your input on what we put where. All right. But I kind of liked bringing this color out. The Cajun Craze really kind of makes that pop. And we can use a little wink of Stella if you think it needs some sparkle. Yay, thank you. Glad that. Hi, Jennifer. Glad you got to tune in too. Yay. So we've got some copper with the Cajun. We can stick with that color family and just add the blue. Or we can just do this kind of blue back here. Or, you know, maybe we want that little bit, not this much. Maybe we want to add the green. I wasn't sure how I liked the Mossy Meadow with that, but it certainly brings it out of the Designer Series paper there if you add this. I don't want to get too crazy. Do we want the Cajun Craze? Do we like the Mossy Meadow and the copper? Wow, I think that's kind of sad without the copper. I mean, without the Cajun Craze. Okay. We could put that one lower. If we add the Mossy Meadow. Always add sparkle, you betcha. I like that too, Andrea. Okay, we're gonna have to think about this is how the recipient's gonna get it in the mail. It's gonna come like that. But then when they put it up on their desk, they're going to spread it out like that. I just think we need a pop of this blue. But I just kind of take things and play with them until I get it like I think I want it. What are y'all thinking so far? Too much? Quit? Go back? Do less? Do more? We're going to kind of have to layer that in that way. Is this green too much? Would we rather have just one little bit of green? Oh, is Christy here too? I haven't seen Christy's name pop up. Susan? I'm glad she's here. Okay, any of those that you don't like? Any of the colors that you don't like there? Do you like the variety? Pretty arrangement, you like that? Love it? Okay, well, let's move this aside and see how we can get this on there then. I think glue dots will probably be our easiest choice for some of these since I didn't use adhesive sheets. If you were going to make multiples of these, I would probably take the time to go ahead and do an adhesive sheet. Okay, so I'm going to take this whole wad of all of these leaves, move those over, and we'll just stick. I'm just taking the embellishment to the glue dot and kind of twisting it as it comes off there. And I don't want these at the same angle. They are going to kind of both be at the top. And you don't, these glue dots are strong enough to hold these little bitty pieces. And as long as it doesn't stick out over the full width of the card, then it'll be fine. So it can hang over this part, it just can't hang over the full edge. Okay, then we're going to take this one. And I think I'm just going to glue kind of the middle part of this one. And then we'll go back in and add some more if we need to. Okay, this one was kind of tilted this way, I think. Then we'll get this big one in there, this big Cajun Craze piece. And probably could have done this with the liquid glue, but I just didn't want to wait for it to dry. And I'm sticking toward the center branches of this foliage or center leaves. I want to tilt that where you can make sure and read the thank you for everything. I'm going to make this one kind of more vertical. Since these are going out, we'll just make this one straight up. And I can pop this one up, I think I will, on some little mini glue dots, which I hope I have. I may have to run, get some, or I'll just... Y'all know how I am. Little hobbits take things off of my desk. Let's see if I've got some in a drawer over here that I can reach without going in the other room. Well, here they are. I thought I had some in here. Oh, wow. I bent my knee way further than it's bent in about 12 weeks. Oh my. Okay. Whew, scared me. Okay, this one is all going to be contained, it looks like, on top of the other leaves and not really hanging off any of the edges. So I'm going to just put these whole little things on there, little mini dimensionals. It's wonderful that Stampin' Up! Makes the two sizes. And even this size is still, you can still cut them in half if it's not quite working the way you want. I think that one's going to have to be in half too. And if these aren't in the right spot, then we'll just move them around. How about that? It's not really permanent. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing there. Okay, I'm going to get my Take a Pick tool and get these backs off. If I can do that. If you just kind of poke a hole in the middle of it, it's a little harder on the ones that are cut in half to kind of get this to work properly, but it can work. And my fingernails are in bad shape, of course. So we're going to make this happen. Okay, so I've left a lot of these leaves loose. They're not glued down at all, so it gives it a little more depth that way. And then we will do our final, the coup de grace, I guess. Should we cut that in half, do you think? So it's not just a curve, or do y'all like the curve? Should we cut it so that we've got two little sprigs to stick in there at different angles? Or do y'all kind of like the way this is going here if we leave it like this? Yikes, having trouble. Yes, cut. Okay, Andrea says cut. We're going to cut it and see where we go from here. Let's see, that one's on this, I think. Alrighty. We will pop this one up too. Probably going to have to cut these in half too. Or you can cut the edge. Sometimes that works just as well or better. I think I'm just going to cut a little piece of edge here. And I know some people don't use their edges, but I sure do. I'm a little too frugal to throw something away just because it's not part of the way it's designed to do. But it works just as well as the middle part, I think. Just takes a little more effort, but I think it's worth it. Okie dokie. What kind of, whoops, my little dimensional is showing there. We can't have that. We're going to bend that up this way. Snip. Snip that corner off. Try not to snip the leaf. There we go. Now we can have them kind of independent of each other and not have to worry about getting the curve exactly right. I think that was a good call, Andrea. Yes, I forgot what they were called, Andrea. That's good. The bones. Yep. Good heavens, Kelly. I didn't do that very well. We're going to snip that again. quarter these puppies. Thank y'all for your help. I appreciate your input on all this. Anybody done anything exciting today? Or fun or anything we need to know about? I have actually gotten to, I'm trying to get a better shelf unit in the classroom part of the craft room and figure out what I can do in there that doesn't take up too much room but is a better use of space. So I have gone to like a jillion stores shopping for that, and I guess I'm gonna have to order it online after all that. And I'm also trying to figure out whether to buy a recumbent bike or stationary bike. My doctor recommended that, Dr. Smitherman, for my knee to do the push-pull so it gets the hamstring out. The hamstring stretched out. Oh, I'm glad you went shopping today too, Andrea, with the daughter-in-law and grandkids. I bet that was fun. So what do y'all think? We've got one more part that's going to be we'll flip it over and put it here. We'll put this on the back so you can write your little message. And I thought we would add a little piece of our designer series paper. This was left over when I cut this. Normally when you cut, these are, I had it in a 6-inch strip. It comes in a 12-inch, 12 by 12. But I cut this off so it's 5 1/4. So of course that leaves 3/4 inch if you've got a 6-inch piece. So I have cut that off and we're going to put it on here. And then we can stamp "You're absolutely amazing" on the back or leave it plain. Either way. I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp the "You're amazing," because who wouldn't want to hear that? And we're all amazing in our own way, right? Everybody's got gifts and talents, and it's just so exciting to be part of this Stampin' Up community that shares knowledge and shares ideas, and it's all about sharing and caring, and isn't that great to be part of this community? Thank y'all for being part of my Create with Kelley crew. You make it exciting and fun for me to be able to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator. You all are absolutely amazing. Stamp that straight down, straight up. I stayed with the same theme here. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle just a little bit of the dots if I can find them after I cleaned them. They've kind of disappeared off my desk. Alrighty, got them. And then we're going to leave plenty of room to write and just glue this at the bottom to pull the front over to the back. Normally you're pulling the outside of the card into the inside, but now we're pulling the front to the back so that they are coordinated. Because that's what Stampin' Up is all about, is coordination, right? That's what's wonderful. Everything. Thanks, Andrea. I'm glad you like it. The card. Okie dokie. Let's get this out of the way. We're done stamping already. But see how pretty that is? Just giving it that one little touch. And I think that's going to make a lovely place for you to put your greeting on the back. Put it up here where y'all can see what I'm doing. Sorry, I get out of range without realizing it. So there's plenty of room for your, whatever your greeting is. And then you've got the front. We're bringing out the ombre paper, so you've got a lot of textures here. We've got the shiny copper that is more of a brushed copper. And then this copper is more of the flat copper sheet, the copper foil sheet. We have the ombre in the navy paper, Night of Navy. And the Cajun Craze here. If y'all think we need some Wink of Stella on the Cajun Craze and Mossy, I'll do that. What do y'all think? Do we have enough shine? Do we need more shine? Do we need a little bling? What do we need? Are we done? Here it is flat. This is like it'll go in the envelope. And then when they open it up, they can stand it on their desk like that. Yay! I like it. I really just didn't like this paper when it was 12 by 12. It was just too much. But now that it's cut to a smaller size, I really like it, and I like bringing in the colors. Thanks for the likes there. I appreciate your input, and I'm glad you like it. And hopefully we are done in time to be able to, I'm going to show you some of the cards that we made this weekend. It looks like a lot on the screen there. We got a lot going on this card. I have never been accused of being too simple, I don't think, on my cards. But this one was not difficult to make. It just took me a long time to figure out how I wanted to do it and what I wanted to do. So thanks for y'all's input. And if y'all think that's way too much, you can certainly do a lot less. Great amount of shine. Beautiful card. Thank you, Jennifer. Okie dokie. Y'all want to see some cards I made this weekend? And like I said, these were, I believe they were all designed by Amy Story. She is amazing. And she is my upline in Stampin' Up. It's kind of like Cheryl Holtman is who I joined under, and Cheryl is under Amy. So Amy takes care of all of us in her group. All right, this is one of my favorites, and we are going to be doing a lot of Christmas cards after this, probably for several weeks. And I've got several classes coming up, too. I do have a beginner class. I'm still trying to stick to my original schedule here, where I've got a beginner class on November 18th is a beginner. And then before that, I've got November 15th is kind of an intermediate class. And then my advanced techniques class will be on November 21st. So it's a little different, but whew, that's when it's supposed to be. I'm gonna have to check that. That date may not work, but those were the ones that I normally do. And then November 14th, I have down as a Paper Pumpkin alternative class. So all of these dates are on my calendar on my blog. And then I am looking at doing a Stampin' Up bingo. And if any of y'all have seen some of the other demonstrators do those, it just looks like such fun. So I would love your input if you're interested in doing that. You just purchase you buy the right to play bingo by purchasing the supplies that we'll use to make cards. We'll play a game of bingo and then make a card. I will make it. You'll get your supplies after the bingo because we can't count on the post office to get it to you in time. So y'all will make your own. You can refer back to the video recording of the bingo. So we'll do bingo, do a card, do bingo, do a card, do bingo, do a card, like that. And we'll have prizes based on the amount of participants we have. So this will be our first time to try it, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm trying to come up with a date to see if y'all want to do it in November or early December. What works for you? So y'all might send me some input on what you prefer, if you'd like it to be on a weekend afternoon, or a weekday evening, or what works best. Y'all let me know on that. Okay, this is one of my favorites that Amy did. And this is we will be doing a card with this layout. These are from the Whimsy and Wonder dies. This is from the Color and Contour dies. And then this is from the Santa Paws Designer Series paper with the pets, or the stockings, I think, sweet stockings. But you could use any two Designer Series papers that coordinate, and then just come up with a color here, pull one of the colors out of the DSP and ribbon. Isn't that pretty? I just think that is such a great layout that is very flexible for you to be able to just change this out. And I love these two little trees with the long trunks. I just love that. So that's one of them we made. And we may have changed some of these up just a bit. I believe this is from the Peppermint and, oh, I'm blank, Peppermint and Gingerbread, I think is the name of that series paper. And it has these cute little embellishments, if you can see these, they're really 3D. These are thick. So probably, you definitely would have to pay extra to mail that. But isn't that cute? Just with a little snowflake die cut, and simple, simple. And then we did our envelopes to match. And let's see, I should do all the Christmas together, I guess, and all the fall together. Here's another one kind of with that sweet, and I changed it up a little bit. This was one where we did not have the cloche the stamp sets that Amy used in the cloche, so we cut out one of the Gingerbread Designer Series paper pieces that looks like a little snowflake cookie, I guess, and hung it in the cloche, but I think that's cute. We also did, here's another one with the cloche that I haven't finished. I haven't put my greeting here. But you can see how different it looks with those same trees that were on that other card that are from the Whimsy and Wonder dies, and they're out of the black glitter paper. And then this has the peaceful prints, like if y'all have done the latest Paper Pumpkin, this I think is the peaceful prints from that, or it might be the cabin one. But so that one's not quite finished. And then we've got another one with the Gingerbread and Peppermint, and this could be Heartwarming Hugs paper. I'm not exactly sure. And then this one is the Snowflake 3D die that also has, there's a snowflake and then there's an evergreen bough kind of thing. But I used a blending brush behind that with the cinnamon cider just to kind of bring that color in a little bit and keep that from being so stark white. And she had a totally different design on hers, and we didn't have that stamp set, so we improvised. And here's another one that is beautiful. Amy did a ton of work on all this stuff, this retreat. It is incredible. She did all the die cutting and the texture embossing, everything. It was amazing how much she had done. So all we did was anything that required stamping, because Stampin' Up! Will not allow us to stamp anything and send it. You have to be able to stamp it yourself. And if you don't have that particular set, you can substitute. But I thought this was a beautiful one. This is Painted Christmas, I believe it's called. And this is that cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. And this is that music sheet, I guess, background. Can't think of all the names. Words are hard. And here's one with the Merry and Bright. This is from the Bright Baubles set, I think. And then this is the Whimsy and Wonder DSP. And then we repeated the snowflakes from that texture folder that I showed you previously. And this is on the Blushing Bride with that Blushing Bride frayed ribbon that is so pretty. And I'm kind of going in backwards order here, but here are the fall cards we made. This one is from the, I think it's Blackberry Beauty is what that suite is called. And it has the harvest, whatever that harvest set is. I do not have this stamp set, but Tanya or Dion had it. And then this is that gorgeous cork paper that is just, oh, it just makes you want to feel of it. It's just wonderful. I love it. And then this is the gold ribbon that was originally in that art gallery or fine art gallery set last year in the catalog, and then it carried over. But isn't that a beautiful combination? I know this was back ordered for quite a while. I think you can order it now, and that's one of the gilded gems. And we just use blender pens to color those in. I'm not showing any comments. Are y'all still with me here? Just checking in. Okay, another one. There we go. Okay. Is the If Friends Were Pumpkins, I'd Pick You. Isn't this a pretty little pumpkin set? And I just use the blends to color those in. But nice little layout. That's the designer series paper from the Harvest, whatever that Harvest set is. Card parade. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I tell you what, it did not feel like a parade when we made all of these in one day. But I know it didn't feel like a parade to Amy, who cut out all these supplies. It was just incredible. And this one is the Season and Sparkle or something like that. Is what the wreath one is called. We've had an arrange a wreath. We've had several wreath dies that would work with this. And this is time-worn typewriter or something like that. The designer's, the texture folder. Can you see that? Time-worn something. And then this paper that's from that pattern paper that was in the catalog last year that carried over, that had all the wood grain and the tile. We also, that was texture embossed with the pine wood planks folder, or one of the folders that looks like wood. So it really has a nice feel to it, as does this time-worn texture folder. It might not be time-worn, but isn't that pretty? And then mint macaron, calypso coral, and crushed curry with that. And then this was another one with the sending greetings. And this is a retired folder. We did not have the cardigan. There's like a cardigan folder and a knit sweater folder that she used on hers. But we did not have that one, so we used a different one that is retired. But this is just using the blends, and this is from that Peaceful Prince, Peaceful Cabin, that has the buffalo. That's big, this buffalo check. I've seen that in all kinds of commercials. If y'all watch YouTube videos and you see our kind of any place that does anything crafty, like Michael's or some of those places where you can make your fall arrangements or your wreaths for your door, that kind of thing, they are really bringing in this misty moonlight kind of color with the fall colors this year. It's really interesting that Stampin' Up is always on trend. It's really kind of fun. But this, I just wanted to point out, when you do your blends, I learned this last year, I believe, or the year before, that if you really want to make your image kind of pop off the page and almost look like it's moving, if you take, I'll see if I can get it a little bit closer and y'all can still see, but I took the Pool Party blend, it went all the way around and just kind of outlined it, and it just kind of makes it pop off the page when you do that. So you don't really see the outline, and it just really makes the image pop. So you can see it if you're looking for it, but I think if you're not a demonstrator who's used to this, I don't think you would notice it. You would just see the image. So I thought that was really pretty too. But I thought Amy did an outstanding job on those, and we had a lot of fun making the cards. And I'll show you I've got 3D projects too, and I'll show you those next week. So I'm going to turn the camera around again. Thank y'all for watching the card parade. Did y'all have a favorite of those? We're going to be doing the Whimsy and Wonder class soon. I'm working on that next. Let's get this camera turned. Okay, yay. Thank y'all again for tuning in and watching tonight. Thanks for being part of my Create with Kelley crew. I'm happy to have you around, and thank you for your input tonight. I'll show you this card one more time. We'll show it closed. That is a lot going on there, but it really is pretty in person. And then open it up. There we go. You can see how that copper foil is just gorgeous, and it really brings out the richness of that Cajun Craze color in the designer series paper. So thank y'all very much again for tuning in. A lot of fun times ahead. I will send you all invitations to the classes that are coming up. And I'm also going to be doing Ollie classes in the spring. So I've got those dates down. If y'all are Ollie members, Osher Lifelong Learning Center Institute, I guess it is, Ollie. And so I'm going to teach some of those classes. But hope you'll get to come to everything and have a good night. And be sure and check my blog for upcoming classes. Thanks again. Fun times ahead. I appreciate your input. Happy evening. Bye.